Would you look at that? A lone stalker punched out deep into the zone on another expedition. Our rations and ammo most likely dwindling. Before us, two heavy load helicopters suspended in animation. In the background, a massive radar dome. I love the intro, the title cards, the main menu screens, whatever you want to call it, that Misery produces. For those of you that don't know, Misery is a 1 to 5 player cooperative horror game that takes a lot of inspiration from games like Lethal Company. I have not personally played Lethal Company, but after putting about 13 hours into Misery, I get the gist of it. This is an absolute blast, and this is an absolute gem. And with that, I should probably give you my intro. Hello, Stalkers, and welcome to Misery. Now, I already told you a little bit about the game. For those of you that don't know, which is all of you, I am a massive Stalker fan. I was disappointed with Stalker 2, but I have innumerable hours in the first 3 games, as well as in standalone mods such as Anomaly and Gamma. I'm also in the middle of writing a book, a standalone book, based in the Stalker universe. More on that later. Well, what is it about the zone that we find so attractive? For me, the zone represents a frontier, something not to be conquered, but something to be explored. In Stalker media, why is it that Stalkers go to the zone? With the faction systems we're all familiar with over the course of the Stalker games, what is it? What is their driving force? For some of them, it is duty. For example, is to destroy the zone. Freedom believes that the zone should be open to everybody. The military is trying to cordon off the zone and make sure stalkers like us don't get in. Loners all have their own reasons, while bandits have nefarious reasons, almost entirely nefarious reasons. So, did you come here for money? Did you come here to escape your home? This image is just mesmerizing. I cannot give enough praise to the developer for these intro cards. And with the style, you know, this might turn some of you off. But for me, I love the voxel style, and there is so much detail crammed into these worlds. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and start a world. And let's jump in. Here we go. Would you look at that? We start off in this dusty and dingy post-Soviet bunker. And you see here our walls have values attached to them. And we will be expanding this out in the near future. Our incinerator with its plugs, its outlet, excuse me. The one lone light. Trash littering the floor. Our crafting bench, we will be spending a lot of time here. Right now, it doesn't look like much because it is not much. Just beyond that bunker door is everything we came to the zone for. Everything we had hoped and dreamed for, prayed for some. It's right beyond that door. And like all good expeditions, we must climb the stairs and leave the bunker to start. So you don't you don't start off in the zone. You actually start off in your home as an mission is ravaging the land. So we have to do this little mad dash to find material that we're going to take into the zone. We have exactly a minute to do so, and this is an absolute panic run every single time. We really could benefit from a weapon here in the early game. Don't need fur coats. Anti-rads are fantastic. Cucumbers. If we don't get a weapon, we're not necessarily screwed off jump. No, we don't have time. But it is going to make life significantly more difficult for us. Sorry about that. Talking to my wife. Alright, so we start out in the same bunker, and we have all of the gear we brought with us from our home. So we're gonna go over here into the corner and just drop everything. Dropping everything. We're going to drop everything. Drop everything. Alright, with all that neatly piled up in the corner, we'll step out of the bunker. If you're a fan of Stalker media, then at some point you've probably come to appreciate the environments. And they are beautiful environments. They're always portrayed as dark and grim, overcast, falling rain. But for me, this is perfect weather. You see the leaves blowing in the wind, you can almost feel the chill on your skin. And this is our base of operations. Comes standard with our own helicopter. This is a Slavy. I'll pick up this cabinet here. One thing really cool about Misery, and I'm not sure if this is present in Lethal Company, I imagine it is, considering how much inspiration is drawn from that game, but everything in the world, for the most part, is modular. So this cabinet, for example, we picked up out of the trash pile out there. We can take it back and put it in our base. Now we have storage. So organize this quickly. Alright. Not room for everything, but that's alright. We can take a second to explore. We really have no rush. Over here, our bike generator station. Gopnik powered, of course. One Gopnik power. And take this car battery. This car battery will come into play later on when we start generating power. But for now, I have foreknowledge, like I said earlier. I've played roughly 13 hours of this, and this is all before I decided to start recording. So I got 17 emissions under my belt, and I have a general idea. I watched another YouTuber set up his batteries like this, and I'll show you why later. You can, with your turbines, which we'll get into later, you can trickle down the power. So we have a generator that stores 300 power, and that is the gasoline that you put in it, and it does not last very long. So we're only going to use that for the incinerator. We're not going to use that to power any devices we find out in the field. But these car batteries hold 1200 power. Oh, and this is a feature. We're going to take our waste here and just drop it over in this area, and we'll see why later. Dilapidated homes left in shambles. Alright, at the bunker door, across from our home, we have the option to go out on an expedition or go to Sears's. And in this world, we're going to pop out on expedition first. In this world, Sears's functions as your trader hub, and I'll show you that more shortly. Pripyat zone. There's a gap in the fence here. We'll go and check it out. And immediately we can hear our Geiger counter working as intended. So the name of the game here is punch out, find material, and hope you make it back before the emission strikes. And we are already off to a decent start picking up this backpack. In this rendition of the zone, look at that monolith. In this rendition of the zone, we still have to deal with mutant threats as well as anomalous threats. And there's always the ever-present human threat as well. Using some foreknowledge here, I am going to pick up this PPSH and possibly, yes, there's a stash on the other side. So we'll take food. Hunger and dehydration seem to kill you a lot quicker than the elements. I mean, I can, for the most part, I can dip and dodge and slide around some of the physical threats of the zone, as well as anomalies. But our base needs are what we need to keep in check, especially in the early game. Look at that massive birch tree, that is beautiful. Gonna make sure our radiation stays somewhat in check. Vodka, like any good stalker. Right. With that, our first location is looted. Slide through this anomaly field and continue on our journey throughout the zone. Let's stop for a second, get my bearings. It is so easy to get turned around if you're not paying attention. And I like to double, triple check make sure I know my entrances and exits before... Oh, that's not good. Wow. Now, I don't know for a fact, but I'd say Sidrovich ordered that bombing run on top of our heads because I've been scamming him for rubles for years. There we go. So, oh. Wow, would you look at that? Look at these soldiers and civilians frozen in time. Looks like a time fall. And that eerie droning in our ears, it sounds like a chorus of lost souls. That is grim. Alright, sorry about that. I was taking a screenshot. So, I'm unsure of what this anomaly is. Nothing really has a description at all, as a matter of fact. Besides your items, there's no descriptions for the anomalies or the enemies you face, besides their names. But I'm going to call this one the Timefall for now. Recently I was... Oh, wow, look at that. Recently I was playing Death Stranding. And I think it's fresh in my brain. This shovel will help us out. It's good to know that we're armed. It's really eerie. You can see the impact, entrance and exit wound. Let's go explore some of these houses and get away from that. I don't love the way it makes me feel. It's another fun anomaly. I'm gonna call this one Bouncy Balls. You hear thunder in the background. Oh, lovely. Drop our Ushanka and pick up that construction worker helmet. It should provide us limited impact resistance. I'm not gonna take this gunpowder nor cement right now. We need to focus on... We really need to focus on storage. Finding items to take back that are going to allow us to not drop all of our gear onto the floor. We need cabinets and wardrobes, believe it or not. Red corner. We'll set our spawn point there. The buffet is empty. Take this cabinet, but we do have to make room for it. There we go. Can we pick up the carpet? We can, but we can't take it home, which is unfortunate, but such is life. Currently, we do not have a detector. So I'm not gonna brave. I mean, I'm gonna brave this anomaly field. I'm not going to go out into the swamp artifact hunting. That will not work out in our favor. Continue up this path past the Timefall. Their muzzle flash still illuminated. So it seems like they're stuck forever. Do you think that they're still conscious in that moment? Or do you think they've moved on? I'm just another victim of the zone. Reminds me of a certain truck in the cordon. I do see a campsite up ahead, as well as... What is this? Garbage. Howling wind gives me a chill. Some Tushanka. Oh. Now it's time to make big decisions. We always need water. We'll go ahead and have a sip. We'll crouch over here by this fire. We'll have a sip and a bite to eat. I only have... Oh! Crouching, which is a Slav squad in-game, as you can see by our player model, which is a really cool detail. Squatting down by a fire, if you are injured, you'll gain health. Very cool way of gaining health out in the field. Trying to pick, there we go. Some 7.62 ammo, that'll come in handy later. We'll take this magazine on the off chance we run into the Tokarev. Ammunition is sparse, but it can be purchased for exorbitant prices back at Sears's. This Mongol, this barbecue. I wish we could take this, but we're gonna have to pass on it for now. We'll get another one in a separate run. But what was I saying? Ammunition is sparse out in the world, and buying it will hurt your pockets significantly. Now, on the other hand, firearms, you can only find those in the world, which is not such a bad thing. You know, in the vein of Gamma. That eerie droning. But you cannot purchase firearms. We'll stop by Sears's here, and I'll let you check it out. Show you what I'm talking about. And make our way back to our bunker. Our only relatively safe corner of the zone. And we leave through the same door we exited. We'll turn around. Roaches scattering the floor. That eerie gramophone playing in the background, and no, not a one stalker turns to acknowledge our presence. We could just pull up here and stare off into space for a while and reflect on our expeditions. Barman looks like he's had enough, seen enough, surely. This makeshift infirmary. Medic over here. Reading a medical journal, no doubt. Hunter with his trophies on the wall. Things to come. And Junkman, looking like a certain Metro Exodus character. And the dealer and the tailor. You know, I think I've ran into Taylor on Interchange once or twice. Anyways. Oh, well, I was about to go into a monologue, but the siren in the background heralds in a mission, and the only two safe places to wait out in a mission are here at the basement of Sears's or in our bunker. Presumably with the door closed. I haven't tested that. I don't think I'm going to. But over here you can see ammunition, frag grenades, and magazines for sale. But we can only sell him firearms themselves. Unfortunately, I really don't like the buy and sell system. I don't know if Lethal Company's like that, and maybe I'm just being particular. I wish that there was a central grid that you could drag and drop your items into. There is not, and I've gotten used to it, but it's not my favorite, and that's my only hot take. We'll go over to the junk dealer and begin selling our items. Usually, I would probably hold on to most of the stuff and just play like a rat, but I'm not going to do that for the sake of entertainment. I am going to try to get us as rich as possible, as quickly as possible. Our first run was really successful with finding a backpack on the first run, even though it is the tier 1 backpack. Look at that. Our first mission survived, Stalkers. This is really cool. I love that the seasons change. But we're going to sell our gasoline, all of our glass. We didn't pick up any electronics, but we'll sell all of our scrap. And that is all we got we can sell, wasn't it? Yes. Be careful if you don't have the space in your inventory to take the rubles. They take up 2 inventory slots. They will be on the ground. And I imagine if you play with friends, that'll be hilarious. Pick up our excrement and head back to our bunker. Leaves still falling. Wind still howling. Just as eerie and ramshackle as we left it. Whoa, hold on. Oh my god. So, I'm goofy, first and foremost. I did not realize in the 14 hours now I've been playing this, that this is the remnants of our home. Our bunker was built into our home. Hence I know that there's some background, you know, we're supposed to be like a researcher, someone with government ties. But I did not realize that this was the frame of our house. You know, I'd like to pride myself on being observant, but sometimes I'm just, you know, totally aloof. And that's one of the times. That is an incredible detail. And I apologize for not catching that sooner. Alright, let's... Normally I would like to keep things centered and looking neat and tidy, but we're going to run out of space so quickly. We're just going to start putting things up on the walls where they fit. We'll try to keep things organized inside. This flour, we can, well, you can read the description there. Flour that can be used to make bread in a microwave or on a gas stove. So you just plop the whole bag of flour into the microwave, and shortly after you'll have bread. I wish it were that easy. As with any good stalker media, you have to keep your hunger and your hydration in check. I love that you get resources from the cans and whatnot. That's very welcome. We can take a second to pick up this garbage and throw it into our incinerator. I'll show you why we do that later, but we do have to get another expedition going before I can show you. So please let me know in the comments if you're a veteran stalker, or if you're, you know, just a rookie, new to the zone, checking it out. Which, no offense if you are, that's awesome. And, you know, you find media at different points in your life, and I think that's beautiful, and it's incredible. It doesn't matter if you were a super fan at the beginning, or you've been following it for only a couple days. You know, if you're a stalker, you're a stalker, and you should wear it proudly. So let me know what your favorite piece of stalker media is, as well as what your favorite aspect of the zone is. If you were going to the exclusion zone, why would you be going? And you don't have to answer. You can think to yourself if you'd like. But feel free to leave a comment. Now, I did mention earlier that there is a human threat, and cleaver wielding, tracksuit wearing gopniks are bad for our health. Combat is not entirely fleshed out in this, just being honest. So we're going to avoid engagements as much as possible. A radio we can sell to the junk dealer, and a stash. Some good sear, the white cheese, sausage, Dr. Sausage of course, and a cream cola. I might aggro him down here. I don't know how intelligent their AI is. I can't imagine it's much. I said we're gonna stealth it. Oh no. We might be able to. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so not super intelligent. At all, for that matter. And here comes the bombing run. And there's a boar. I'm starting to feel more and more like a rookie by the second here. Underprepared, under-equipped. Something tells me we should not enter the radiological zone. Not at least until we have a gas mask. Coal bag does us no good right now. Neither does cement. But a blade could come in handy when our shovel inevitably breaks. We do have durability with our weapon systems. You know, this is unwise, but I would like to take on this boar. Wow. Okay. Moderately anticlimactic, but hey, we got a boar trophy. And look at the gross coming out of that boar. Just another way the zone corrupts what is around it. If you guys are watching the channel and just tuning in, I'd wager most of you have seen Annihilation, and the Shimmer and how it's portrayed as an intelligent life form that doesn't quite understand humans, and it kind of bends the world around it, not trying to be malicious or harmful. We are not going to take on that elk right now. Well, you know what? Yeah, we are. This is a poor idea. We just gotta catch him for a second. We just gotta head him off, and we'll be alright. Hey, look at that. Oh, it's a deer. Not an elk. It's just a major or massive non-typical deer. That is my first time killing a deer with a melee weapon in this. I tend not to get close because of the antlers. I prefer not to be gored. Oh man, I am embarrassingly bad at jumping. There we go. Nothing in the bed of the truck. Try to keep our bearings so we don't get too confused. We're gonna drop down here and check out this other bunker. What he said. Car battery. That's good. Oh, we have won misery. I am very excited to show you why. Drop a hunk of meat because we don't even have the barbecue back home. We should get home now. We'll go to Sears's, sell off our wares, and we'll try to do another expedition, maybe more westward this time. Now running through the dense slow brush. I always think that there's going to be a snork lurking. Alright, here we are. Barman. Barman will buy fresh produce from you, as well as seed packs. We're going to hold on to the seed packs for the most part because I do like the gardening minigame. It's not really a minigame, but I like the gardening mechanic quite a lot. I like to garden in real life as well. My wife and I had a pretty successful run this year. We had a shishito plant that was about chest high. I'm about 5'9", and it was chest high on me. And it's fall is in full swing where I'm at. We just had a snow. Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted here. We just had a snow and did our last harvest on our shishitos, as well as our jalapenos and some marconis. And we had enough shishito peppers to make 2 separate strings of like 50 peppers. It was pretty impressive. Well, after selling all that, we made just under 100 rubles. And we're going to continue to use these first several runs as our money-making runs. I'll grab things that are essential to us as I see them. And I might be missing some stuff. But for now, that is the plan. And I'm going to stick to it. And I was thinking, maybe I'd do this different and take our hard-earned rubles and perhaps we buy the detector. This wheat is going to be invaluable. We are going to turn wheat production into Bitcoin mining. We are going to make so much money. You and I, dear stalker friends, you and I are going to get deliciously, handsomely rich. I think we have time for one more. What could it hurt? He said through gritted teeth. We really have to keep our bearing though, so I'm gonna walk along this rock wall and we'll punch out in short little bursts like that. Let's see what we can see. It's like a burned out structure here, maybe an entire village. That massive anomalous orb. It seems to have sprouted right in the center of somebody's home. That looks like death. I'll run through the center here. Check out the shed. Nothing. Check back here first. And just like that, our shovel has been destroyed. And I did not bring another melee weapon because we did not have one. Oh. Alright, sorry about that. I had to do another shameless screenshot. Hopefully we can find a melee weapon of sorts. Oh, there are bandits there. I did not notice them on the way in. We will not be fighting them with our fists. I don't think I can just push boxes out of them. Ah, Lord have mercy. Let's try to lead them through the anomaly field.
Алло, фраер, давай побазарь! Чеши сюда!
Привет, гони кабан,
Быстро! Чеши сюда, давай побазарь! Стой, сука!
Well, unfortunately, it looks like we're gonna have to do the Pripyat shuffle. Unless we lost him.
Чики-брики и в дамки!
No, we did not lose him.
Да, глух,
You guys want to
что
see
ли,
me
сука,
fist fight him?
стой! Да, фраер, чеши сюда! О, малый, стоять, сюда чеши!
Oh,
Стой, гнида!
okay.
Опа-на, кто это тут шастает? Эй, стой, бля!
Опа-на,
We'll
кто
try it
это
again
тут у
here.
нас?
Ну, отмевай.
Okay, so beating bandits to death with your fists is not a viable combat strategy, and we will never do that again. I promise you I will not subject you to that. But it was worth it because we found an axe. And the axe can be used to break down wooden boxes at a rate we have not seen before. The axe is also pretty common. I know that's kind of funny because we haven't found one yet, but it is relatively common. Breaks boxes down in one hit. Oh. We are going to use this medkit now. Wow. Hey, look at that. We are off to a good start. I should have picked up that suitcase, but I did not, and that is my bad. Car battery? Television? We will pick up the turbo, though. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Pick up. And we gotta head back. So when the emission comes, you see our screen starts turning gray. And it does become a mad dash. But you have roughly 2 full minutes to get back to your bunker. And a little trick you can do is if you're a little too far out, you can hop in to this tunnel and then immediately turn back around once you get to this door and go to Sears's. But we are going to be doing that. We'll wait it out here. No, we have nothing to sell. We're gonna try to make it. This is probably unwise. I don't recommend I don't recommend doing this. There we go. Okay, we did make it though. As luck would have it. We'll drop our turbo down. Put our battery with our other batteries. Useless to us now, but not forever. As well as drop our cable. And get back to organizing. Alright, we're doing pretty good. Step out here, offload our excrement, and I've been recording for 58 minutes now. I'm probably going to go ahead and clip this here. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video, if you want more stalker content or Zomboid, or if you have suggestions, please let me know. I'm open to feedback, tips and tricks, everything. I'm very new to this, so I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And you know, if you guys and gals have an opinion you want to share with me, please by all means share that opinion. Well, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. It means the world to me. It really does. And I appreciate all of you watching. Even if you're just clicking through or stopping by for a second, you have no idea how happy it made me to watch the views on this channel go up after its first post. It made me irrationally happy. At the time of recording, I think we got up to 19 views, and I couldn't believe it. My wife and I were just so giddy. Thank you for everything, seriously. But I am going to let you guys go. I promise to come back with more expeditions into the zone and beyond. Maybe we'll start a Darkwood playthrough. That's starting to sound fun. Alright, thanks for tuning in. And I will see you in the next one. Mind the gap, stalkers.